Dear supporters, this is the last audio video in the series Idiot's Guide to Islam, summarizing the achievements and conclusions of the 3 volumes of Lifting the Veil trilogy. This 3rd volume contains the scripts of audio videos 171 to 248. As you well know, each of the Lifting the Veil trilogy is self-contained and independent of the others. Volume 1 comprises chapters 1 to 100. Volume 2 contains chapters 101 to 170, and Volume 3 from 171 to 248. Lifting the Veil, the True Faces of Muhammad and Islam trilogy, contain the distilled and unadulterated facts about Muhammad, his Sunnah, his fundamentalist followers, Sharia, Arab Islamic imperialism, and Arab conflict with Israel and the Jews. They are the result of over 30 years of researching, comparing, contrasting, and analyzing in Arabic, my mother tongue, from the original sources of the Quran, Hadiths, Muhammad's Sunnah, Sharia, and Arab Islamic histories. Those who have listened to my series or read my articles and books would by now agree unreservedly with the following unchallengeable conclusions. 1. Muhammad and Islam is not a religion, but a cult belief system, the cult of Muhammad. 2. Islam does not mean peace, as the Muhammadan Muslims deceptively declare, but only submission, blind and unquestioning submission to Allah by the followers of Muhammad. 3. The concept of believing in a one and only God, Islam, was not invented or first thought out by Muhammad, because in fact and in reality, this primal belief system preceded Muhammad and his Quran by at least 2,500 years in the person of the Hebrew Abraham, 2,100 years by Moses and the Israelite of 12 Hebrew tribes, and last but not least, 610 years by Jesus, the Judean, and his followers. 4. Allah is most certainly not the same as the God of Abraham, Moses, and Jesus, because Allah is only the name of the supreme God of 360 deities in stone, comprising the pantheon of pagan Arabia. 5. Allah, the supreme rock god of pagan Arabia, had 3 daughters, Al-Lat, Al-Uzza, Al-Manat, of the satanic verses controversy. 6. Muhammad is not and cannot possibly be a prophet, especially since he did not prophesy anything that came out to be true. 7. Jihad is not a spiritual struggle to commune with God, but eternal war against all humans who are not followers of Muhammad. 8. Females of the human species are considered by Muhammad and his male followers as creatures who are just one little step higher up the ladder of evolution than domestic animals. 9. The word hijab does not exist even once in Muhammad's Quran describing the covering of a woman in any way, shape, or form. 10. The name of Jerusalem that the Arabs falsely claim as their own is not even once mentioned in Muhammad's Quran, but at least 667 times in the Bible. 11. The name Palestine as a state and Palestinians as a people cannot be found anywhere in recorded history prior to their invention in 1964. 12. Muhammad unilaterally declared total war against all so-called unbelievers, kuffar or kafirun, by splitting the world 1400 years ago into 2 diametrically opposite camps: Dar al-Islam, the lands of the Muslims, against Dar al-Harb, the lands of the infidels. 13. For those who do not know, currently infidels or kuffar kafirun are 80% of humanity, comprising all Christians, Hindus, Buddhists, Jews, atheists, animists, agnostics, etc. That is, all those who do not believe as Muhammadan Muslims do. 14. We, Ummat al-Kuffar, are given 3 choices by so-called peace-loving Sharia. A. Convert to Islam whether we like it or not. B. Submit to Sharia in humiliation and degradation forever. Or C. Be exterminated. These choices are declared repeatedly and in public by the leaders of Muhammad and Islam every single Friday in every single mosque in 80 languages all over the world. 15. Ummat Muhammad, the Muslims, 20% of current humanity, are the least productive, least inventive, and least creative in human history, challenging all of us of Ummah al-Kuffar, nation of infidels, 80% of humanity, who are the most productive, most inventive, most creative, and most powerful in human history. 16. Muhammad, his Quran, his Sunnah, his fundamentalist followers of Sharia are hate-mongering, war-mongering, misogynist, racist, mendacious, duplicitous, treacherous, vile, and hence totally ungodly. 17. Sharia is the nemesis of democracy. Sharia is the antithesis of all known human freedoms. To speak of Sharia and democracy is an oxymoron, a contradiction in terms. 18. Because the followers of Muhammad must abide by Sharia, they cannot ever be loyal to any political entity that has man-made laws or constitutions, because they are not from Allah. Nor can they ever be loyal to any peoples or nations that are not Muslims. This is why Muhammadan Muslims cannot ever integrate, let alone assimilate, in Europe, Americas, Russia, China, India, or wherever the nation that accepted them is not Muhammadan Muslim. They can only be either traitors in waiting or traitors in action. 19. It is by divine will, qidra ilahiyya, and divine justice, haqq or adl ilahi, that the very hadiths that explain to the followers of Muhammad his Quran and Sunnah are the very same that utterly discredit Muhammad as a prophet and the alleged divine origin of his Quran. 20. In conclusion, so-called believers and unbelievers, every letter, every word, every verse ayah, and every chapter surah in the Quran was not revealed by any entity called Allah or an angel Gabriel, because actually they are the sole product of Muhammad's imagination, the secretions of his warped mind, his alter ego, his autobiography, but very cleverly projected into the unsuspecting mouths of Allah and Gabriel to give them the aura of sanctity and divinity. 21. In a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen, Muhammad, Allah, Gabriel, and Satan are one and the same entity, Muhammad, with Allah, Gabriel, and Satan as the voices over of Muhammad, the ventriloquist. To back up my assertions, statements, or conclusions, I have offered more than $1 million worth of challenges to every human being hearing or reading me. Not a dime has been taken from me, even after 10 years. Now that I have all my audio videos in print, the next step in accomplishing the final act of my mission of publicly and comprehensively, utterly discrediting Muhammad as a prophet and the alleged divine origin of his Quran is to have uninterrupted 15 to 30 minutes live interview on a mainline TV station. Thank you all for supporting, blessing, and appreciating my mission. IQ al-Rasuli, Kafir and proud.